Welcome to Body Stories, Day 9. Day 9 is all about the bones. And ever since I read this chapter, I've been thinking sort of in the back of my mind about bones and skeletons and my bones and your bones and how our bones are so different from what we think they are because we mostly learn about bones by looking at and touching a plastic skeleton. Back when I was teaching childbirth classes, which was many years ago, I had a plastic pelvis that I used as a prop. It was a pretty important part of the teaching, but it didn't really represent a normal human pelvis because our bones are all individual representations of us, so that my pelvis and your pelvis and that plastic pelvis might look entirely different from one another. Beyond that, bones are multi-layered tissue, and that's something I was learning in this chapter, and how the tissue grows. It's unique that it's got, particularly in the long bones, there's a lightness of the nearly liquid marrow in the center of the bone, which is critically important because it creates blood cells for our body. And then the calciferous part of the bone is continuously growing. Whether we're as old as I am or whether we're 6 months old, it's continuously growing. And then beyond that, there's the covering, the periosteum of the bone that helps to integrate all of our parts of bones into all of our other parts. And so I was just thinking about the beauty of the bony structure of the human body. Andrea Olsen gives us 2 exercises to do with this chapter. One of them is to lie in constructive rest and just kind of one piece at a time articulate the joints, which is quite fascinating because we can always think about, our major joints. We can move our shoulders and our elbows and our wrists and our fingers, but there are other joints that are movable as well. There's a sacroiliac joint, which is not something we necessarily think of. There are these other more subtle places in the body. There's where the skull meets the cervical vertebrae, which is interesting, where the jaw attaches to the skull. So all these different places of articulation where parts of our structure meet other parts of our structure. So that's one exercise. And then the second exercise asks us to move from each of the layers of bone. So I wrote a little bit more about the detail of that, taken directly, like all of this is taken directly from Olsen's book, which I strongly recommend to you. And the article is below. So I hope you have a chance to play with your bones. And if you have a good time doing that, or even if you don't, write me a comment. Let me know how it goes. Bye for now. See you next time.